Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I'm going to be reviewing The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. So this is an arc that I received at Y'all Fest, and this book is going to be released on March 6th, which is either tomorrow or today, depending when I upload this video. So this book is about a cursed town in Oregon called Sparrow, where 2 centuries ago, 3 sisters were accused of witchcraft and drowned, and now every summer since, they come back and they spend 3 weeks possessing 3 girls from the town, and they end up drowning a bunch of the town's young men as their revenge for what was done to them. And so throughout the book it is a mystery as to whether the girls are actually witches or not. Was the town right in killing them, or were they innocent, and is the vengeance kind of owed to them? So this book follows a girl named, what is her name? This book follows a girl named Penny who kind of feels stuck in this town and doesn't really think she has a future because her dad disappeared 3 years ago and was never found, and her mom, because of this, went kind of crazy and can't be really left alone, so she feels responsible for her mom. And she doesn't have a lot of friends. She wants to do something about the drownings, and she knows about the drownings, and there's something kind of like, you're not sure why she hasn't done anything about them, since she 100% believes that the witches are possessing the girls, but you can't really tell who's possessed, so nobody actually knows who's possessed when this happens. And a lot of tourists come to this town thinking that, oh, this is just some sort of gimmick, and the fact that people die is also like possibly a coincidence, or maybe other people in the town are doing it just to keep up this ruse so they keep getting their tourist season. And it's a really interesting concept, and I really liked this book. It was extremely atmospheric. It went in a direction I was not expecting because it did start out quite slow. It took a good 100 pages for me to really get into this book. But the descriptions of this were really good. They kept me very grounded the entire time. I could 100% see the town. Characters were alright. They were not my favorite characters ever, but I did end up liking them by the end of the book. It's a very surprising story, very atmospheric. If you're interested in paranormal, cursed towns. Also, it's not super gory and it's not super scary. It is suspenseful, but it's not. It has action moments, but it's not crazy action-packed. Like I said, atmospheric is really the best way to describe this book, and it does go in a surprising direction, so I do recommend reading it if you think this sounds interesting. I think you'll probably like it. It has a lot of mysteries in it, and all of the mysteries are explained at the end, and I really like that because, you know how sometimes you get partway through a book and it's like, okay, but are they actually going to explain the questions that they had in the beginning? And it does explain everything in the end. I'm pretty sure this is a standalone. Also, I really do like the chapter headers. Like there's these parts, which are the flashbacks, and then the actual chapters have the moon on them, which I just thought was really pretty. I think that is all I can really say without spoiling it. So again, if you're interested in The Wicked Deep, I do recommend it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I just kind of knocked off a star for the kind of slow beginning. I do want to talk about spoilers because there's stuff that happens here that I want to talk about. So if you have not read this book, I recommend you leave now and come back and finish this once you have read it, because I don't want to spoil you. Believe me, there's some good, surprising stuff that happens partway through this book, and you're gonna want to experience it for yourself. That's all I can really say. So, goodbye non-spoilery people. Let's get into some spoilers. So, about halfway through, we find out that Penny is not Penny, and she has been possessed by Hazel, like the whole book. Only the first few chapters were actually Penny, and I was like, what? No. It was done so well. It's actually kind of funny because like you could tell it was very well crafted because she could see the sisters and they didn't explain why she could see them and no one else could. Also, like, it explained why she wasn't doing anything about it. Because you'd think if she was the one person in this town with the ability to see the sisters, she would tell somebody and they would trust her, and then they would like get rid of the sisters because that is what would make sense. But no, she didn't, and the fact that she was one of them made perfect sense because that's how she knew things. She was always talking weirdly about revenge and stuff like that, which I was kind of like, what? That's kind of a weird thing to say. There were moments when I was like, well, how does she know this? Because she was like, if they're killed, then they'll be gone forever. But if they don't go back into the ocean, then the other girl will take back over and they'll be stuck in her body forever. And I was like, how on earth would Penny know this information? That is a really weird thing for her to know. And then it turned out that she was Hazel, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense then, because you would know because you're one of them, aren't you? I thought that was really good. It was really well done and really entertaining, and I actually liked Hazel a whole lot. It's kind of sad because I didn't start getting attached to Penny until she was Hazel, and then I found her character interesting, so I actually liked Hazel more. And I feel kind of bad, but I was kind of rooting for Hazel to take over Penny because I wanted her and Bo to be together, and I'm a terrible person, but I'm like, but I like Hazel, I don't like Penny, I don't even hardly know Penny, and I want Hazel to be happy, and she deserves to be happy. And it was just so sad because there was no right thing to, well, there was the right thing to do was let Penny have her life, but like Hazel, her life was taken too, and it was very tragic. It was quite sad. And then the whole orchard thing made sense because one of my notes while I was reading this book was like, what's with the orchard scene? Because that seemed to be taking a really long time and not really have much to do with anything. But the fact that her and, was it Charlie? I forget. Or was it Owen? Had their special tree there made sense as to why she was attached to the orchard. So yeah, and the other sisters were kind of awful, so I didn't really like them. Rose was alright. She seemed like the stereotypical best friend that is the main character thinks is more interesting than her, but I'm not really sure that she is all that more interesting. She just likes to drink a lot, and I really enjoyed this book. Yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about the spoilers, the big twist, because it was very surprising. So that's really all I'm going to say about this book. That's really all my main thoughts on it. I really did enjoy it, but again, it was like all atmospheric, so there's not that much else I really have to say. Except for I'm glad everything was wrapped up as nicely as it could have been. Again, 4 out of 5 stars to The Wicked Deep. If you've read The Wicked Deep, please let me know what your thoughts on it were in the comments below. I love reading your comments, they always make my day. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I upload new videos on Mondays plus the occasional surprise videos, so please subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye!